Joe Rogan situation. What you think about that? Me, I'll say this when I first heard about it, because I'm scrolling Instagram like anybody else does, right? Minding my business, sitting here on a Saturday, I'm scrolling Instagram. And as I scroll, I see Talib Kweli's post, and it says repost of Joe Rogan. This is a very teachable moment. I think that's what the post said. So I tap on it, and it pops up, and Joe Rogan goes into his dialogue, and he says, I said some stuff that I shouldn't have said 10 years ago, and I realize now that me saying that is causing me a problem now. And he said this is a very teachable moment for me. And then he also said that if I have to say that I'm a racist and I'm not a racist, that means that I know that I fucked up. He said I think he said something like other people can't admit to that. He said, right. But I can, and I realized what I did, and I realized what I said. Right. Now, hearing that, I was like, wow, what happened? And then I immediately thought, oh, I remember a couple weeks back, the COVID situation, right? So dealing with the COVID situation, he's like, I've taken ivermectin or whatever it is to help get the shit out of my body. You're not supposed to use it too much or whatever it is, but I did it. I used it. I was okay. My family was okay. It's not doctor prescribed. They don't want him to use it. It's all this shit going on for months and months and months, maybe a year. Maybe months. I'd say months. I can't say a year. For months, Joe Rogan's been talking like this. And no one's been able to knock him off his soapbox this entire time that he's been saying this stuff. Right?
We had this conversation.
Well, we're going to have it now.
Go ahead, go.
We're going to have it now. All right. Did we have it during the podcast?
We talked briefly about it, but we didn't go any.
Okay.
We about to do now.
So as we're sitting there, as I'm sitting here listening, thinking about what he's saying, I go, wow, not too long ago, y'all were on his ass about the whole COVID situation. And y'all couldn't move him. Y'all couldn't budge him. Spotify didn't give up on him. Nobody gave up on him. They just said, all right, cool. Like y'all feel the way y'all feel. We feel the way we feel. So you had people pull their podcasts and their music off of Spotify. Well, we're not going to be over. We don't want to be a part of this if you guys are going to be keeping Joe Rogan on it.
Right.
To this day, here we are, and a few months into the new year, and y'all still couldn't get him off his soapbox. So what y'all decide to do? You all decided that, hey, let's take the racial role.
And you know what they did? They served it up to India Irie. They were like, wouldn't this piss you off? Wouldn't this make you want to take your music off the platform? Somebody gave her videos of him saying that, what he said.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's the one that made it go public on that. You know what I'm saying? I wonder how many other black artists they served that up to before they got her. You see what I'm saying? She ain't just go looking for no Joe Rogan.
No, because nobody was. Because here's the thing for all the people who are upset about it. And if you're upset about what Joe Rogan said, him using the word, you
got every right.
You got every right to feel that way. I was a little taken back by it too. But here's the thing. 10 years ago when he was saying that, nobody said nothing.
It wasn't a big deal.
Wasn't a big deal. Everybody was cool with Joe Rogan saying it then. Why? Because he wasn't touching nobody's feeling about any certain situations. It's always good to, especially with that word, to say it until it's not going your way. And then all of a sudden now they want things to go their way and it's not going their way.
So they weaponized the black woman and her feelings about it. They
weaponized the word.
Yeah, they used the word against her to get the reaction that they wanted. And here we are now having a conversation about it, but nobody views it. Nobody's going to view it that way because they're looking at it from a micro perspective. I'm looking at it from a larger macro perspective, bro.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Every year since he said it, nobody said anything about it. All the shit they so-called complained about when he had Alex Jones on the podcast, nobody said anything about it. You know what I'm saying? And these are clips that's always been live on his channel. He's never taken none of these videos down.
Took none of this stuff down. It's always been on his YouTube. And when I would watch his podcast at times, like even 4 or 5 years ago, when someone put me onto it, I think I would watch it. And I'm like, yo, like my man, like you just gonna say it? and keep on going. But if I'm hearing it and it's been going on, why all of a sudden now it's because of the narrative that you all want to paint. You couldn't get Joe Rogan off his soapbox for the whole corona thing. He's had a couple doctors come on there and talk to him about it.
The only way you can shut him up is by using us. What the fuck?
You want to weaponize, so now you want to weaponize us against Joe Rogan. And if you notice it, like, it ain't a lot of us going for it. Like, it's like, man, come on, man. That man been doing that for how long? Man. That man said that 10 years ago. He was saying it 10 years ago on his platform, on YouTube.
YouTube never had a problem with it being on there.
Nope. Nobody said nothing.
Nobody said nothing. What the word is only offensive when y'all ready to acknowledge that it's offensive. But y'all, the same ones, can't wait to use it.
Same way. Why can't we use the word?
Why can't I say it? It's
why
in
can't
all
I
the
say the
songs
word?
I like.
Yeah. Yeah. That's you all. And then I got people, and this part too, because I got people saying, you know, I think something wrong with you. You losing touch with reality or your blackness because you're not offended. So here's the thing about me not being offended. Maybe it's because I know what the fucking word means. Maybe I know the different versions in the etymology of the fucking word, which is why it doesn't fucking bother me. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's why the fucking word don't bother me.
Maybe when you educate yourself and you become wiser because of situations and circumstances, you never fall for the bullshit. You can see it for what it is. You use critical thinking skills.
Maybe it is that. Maybe that's a part of it as well. Maybe I'm not so easily moved by a word that I have more understanding of than my actual upbringing told me about. Like, I learned about history. Like, they were very good at teaching us about history and kings and queens and artists and architects and astronomers and all these great things that we did. But that specific word I wasn't taught too much about. So when I started doing the digging for myself, I found out more than most people know. And it wasn't until I linked up with Six and a few other people that had a clear understanding of what that word means. Me and Six can use the word amongst each other and salute each other in a divine, inspiring way because we know what the word means. But you're not going to weaponize that word against me or tell me that I'm lacking blackness or understanding of who I am. I'm out of touch, right? I'm out of touch because I'm not mad because of what Joe Rogan said. Listen, were y'all mad 10 years ago when he was saying it? Well, why ain't you people push for it then? It's insulting to black people. No, it's insulting now because a lot of people are in their feelings and in their emotions. I think Joe Rogan is going to be okay.
You're going to be all right.
In the end, let's just get to that
minor
part.
Setback.
That's all. Setback. That's all. It's going to be great for a Netflix special.
Boop. I don't even think he got a whole lot of brands attached to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see him like with a lot of sponsorship deals and nothing like that. So
Traeger Grilled is one of those. Because he talked about it so much to the point where, you know, he loved it and now they gave him a deal with that. But Joe Rogan was already out here making moves. Joe Rogan was out here doing comedy long before this shit kicked off. Joe Rogan is a 50-year-old man who has made his way through comedy, and some of the guys he hang with is Dave Chappelle and a bunch of other fucking guys. And I'm sure there are conversations being had with them in the background that we don't hear about and that we don't know about. And they're all going over and saying, yo, you did fuck up. You did fuck up. You weren't supposed to say the word, but you did. And this is your trial and tribulation. And see you on the other side. You know, I'm not for those who are thrown off about me saying that and I lost touch with reality or my blackness. I'm the guy that had youth programs. I'm the one that teach people about the word. I'm the one that tells people about their blackness. I just told y'all about Vicente Guerrero. Y'all probably don't even know the fuck I'm talking about.
I think it's one of the things where, because I'm fortunate where I'm not in those spaces where I'm having these types of conversations with anybody. I only want to have this talk with nobody in the real world about that because
it's gonna get so twisted.
Yeah, everybody had like a convoluted perspective on it, and it's like it's not fair to the subject. You know what I'm saying? It's not fair to the conversation to even do that.
Because the why of it is gonna get lost. It's all gonna go into racism, and no one's gonna say, well, why did this happen? Why did it happen?
And you can't have a real, true, nuanced conversation if it's just you and another black person. You know what I'm saying? Like let's have, if we're gonna have a talk, let's have a talk. You know what I'm saying? Let's bring a white person over here. Let them, because this will be a learning experience for all of us right quick. Let's go ahead and do this. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, man, I don't think nothing much of this shit.
I don't either, bro. I think like this is just another thing. It's just another thing, right?
Yeah, and what they're doing is, for those who don't understand, you got to be very careful with situations like this. Let me say this while it's on my mind. You got to be very careful, because this is another situation where you can cause the people or the powers that be that y'all believe in or whatever could turn around and say, you know what, we're gonna make this an authoritarian society. We'll tell you what's okay when we say it's okay. Y'all got to be very careful. Y'all want the freedom to, we have the freedom of speech to say what we want and live our lives. Now y'all want to start canceling people and censoring people based on something that you don't like. Well, don't listen no fucking more.
It's a whole demographic of them. It's like, and then I honestly don't even think they make up 2% of the whole country, but they be on the internet. They just on the internet.
They keyboard warriors, bro. Keyboard warriors. Because
if you really about that life, it's so much to fight out here in the real world. You know what I'm saying? It's way more. You can affect way more change if you that damn passionate about something like that. Get out here in the real world and face the shit head on.
Facts plus tax.
You can't just be on Twitter and Facebook.
Like you now you're ignited. Shit. Now you're ignited about racism. Racism right. is this country was built on racism. The last 2,100 years of colonization, imperialism was built on racism.
Racism is what drives humanity, bro. You don't have classism without racism.
No, you don't.
You don't even you can't even have a democracy.
Listen, you all wouldn't have.
That's why
the majority of every country wouldn't have the wealth that they have without racism and people saying, "Go put them niggas to work." And I'm not trying to be mean or anything like that, but it's a lot of realizations that people just don't get. Man, these motherfuckers, look, and the Catholic Church, the papal bulls, if you read them motherfuckers said it's okay to enslave black people. So what are y'all talking about? So Joe Rogan is just this one person.
He's just he's the guy that's in the crosshair.
Yeah, he's a new distraction. Yeah. Joe Rogan's a new distraction. Don't forget about the people that was on them boats.
We supposedly going to war. But we talking about Joe Rogan and
y'all talking about Joe, man. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Y'all that easily distracted. Keyboard warriors sitting around, man. Some of these people live with their mama. Some of these people be sitting around. Some of these people be sitting around beating their dick. Ain't sniffed no pussy since they came out of one.
Real shit.
And y'all talking about some Joe Rogan, what Joe Rogan said. Man, listen. If it took you 10 years to figure that out, that he been saying the N-word, where you been the whole time? Because obviously you've been listening to his podcast.
When we point out racists, they say we's too sensitive, though. When we point them out, you know what I'm saying?
And I could point out a bunch of racist motherfuckers.
And we pointing out whole heavy movers. We ain't talking about Joe Rogan. We pointing out politicians.
Facts.
And heads of sports industry.
Man. The leaders of sports industry, and y'all telling us y'all worried about Joe Rogan?
Joe Rogan. Why couldn't we get the heads of the NFL?
What? Bruh, come on, man. Y'all got it all twisted. Listen, if y'all want to cancel something, cancel the Ku Klux Klan. Cancel racism.
Right, cancel it. You ain't gonna stop it by attacking a man who used a derogatory word. You know what I'm saying? And it's only derogatory because now is I'm not even gonna go there with them, man.
Yo, man.
It's craziness. It's craziness out here, bro.
To the black people that's upset about him saying that because y'all fuck with Joe Rogan, or even if you didn't fuck with Joe Rogan and you think you're a racist piece of shit. Is he?
Is he really?
Is he really? And if you really...
what constitutes that? Like what? Like think about, like, you know how they say one drop of black blood, you got a black baby, right?
Yeah, 116.
So all right. So my thing is this, like, so how do you measure how racist somebody is? Like, is it that one act that's perceived as racism, or is it like a full-on racist act, and that one little racist act for the rest of your life be racist?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking here?
What are we talking about? What are we talking about?
Like, so if he's officially a racist now, if he's officially a racist, but he has not owned it, he don't have to own it because that one little drop, that one little mistake. You know what I'm saying?
Now we got to cancel Joe Rogan, but y'all won't cancel the motherfuckers that's causing people bodily harm.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
We've been getting beat by the police since they were called the marshals.
These goddamn Blue Lives Matter motherfuckers. Ain't no blue lives, motherfuckers.
Ain't no blue lives, bitch. You can take that uniform off. This shit right here I got is forever. It goes nowhere.
And most of y'all ain't even good at that job.
Y'all suck at it. Y'all horrible. And if I got on some shit and wanted to spit the law back to you, y'all be sitting there wanting to shoot me.
Man, I'm gonna shut this nigga up.
What are you, a lawyer or something? No, I'm a law-abiding citizen that knows his fucking rights. Idiot. Man, this shit's crazy, man. Like, y'all gonna weaponize that word in us because y'all want Joe Rogan out the way because of what he said about COVID.
So you're using the N word as your
B plan, your plan B
to get the COVID shit out of there. You know how many? He's not the only one with a platform with the same message. He's just the one with the loudest voice at the moment. But who gave him the loud voice? Who did it?
You all
did.
You all did.
All of a sudden, your dog biting you, your dog barking back at you, and now you want to put him down. Like you raised this dog.
Oh, so you done let him in your home and he's shitting everywhere. Now you upset. Right. Now you want to put him out. Now you want to put him out.
All right.
Come on, man. Y'all got to cut the shit out, man. Cut the shit. Like I'm not, man, I can't go for that, man. I just can't. Like I need some, you got to give me something better than that. Other than anything else, it's a distraction and it's propaganda. Like that's how I see it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Bro. That's all it is, bro. I'm like, the thing is like we are aware of these things, so we're generally just having the conversation. This ain't some shit that's like it strikes us as a surprise, like, oh fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like anytime somebody come out and they're like, hey, this person said some racist shit, I'm like, oh word. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I could think of maybe 2 white people I'll probably be a little surprised by, but even then I'll just go back to, oh damn. You know what I'm saying?
It finally happened.
Or like a motherfucker say Jim Carrey been, you know, there's a tape of Jim Carrey just going around, these niggas and this niggas and niggas and niggas.
I laugh my ass off and I'm like, damn, Jim.
I was like, whoa.
Damn, Jim. Not you, bro.
Not Jim Carrey.
Not Jim Carrey. Like, that's how you got your start. And God bless Jim Carrey and all his success and everything that he's done, man. I salute him. I like Jim Carrey and everything, but
that would be one of the ones that would surprise me if he came out there. He was on that.
Yeah.
But like, when you talking like, we're talking like these thoroughbred white boys. Like, I mean, I look at Joe Rogan. He hang around with black people. He got black friends. I would assume that if he does use the word, he would have used it the way he was accused of using it, because the way he said it was fucking hilarious. It was fucking funny. It was like, this don't even sound like some racist. I mean, it don't sound like blatantly racist shit. It sounds like he's tone deaf as fuck. Like he hang around so many black people talking that nigga shit that
he's at some point he becomes racially ignorant.
Yeah, he's comfortable. He was saying it like he's comfortable, bro. It wasn't even like he was out of his element. So, and you know, it's a difference, bro. It's a difference. Like when it's said from a motherfucker, a white boy who trying to be funny and he don't really got no business saying it, it come off completely different. You know
Absolutely.
Like
Absolutely.
should Joe Rogan get caught slipping saying it like that? Absolutely not. He's so out of his element at the time. But he was having conversations.
Yeah. And the other thing about it for me is, like, do y'all really want guys like me and Six to go back to being protective of that word the way we used to be? Like, do y'all really want that?
Y'all need that. You gotta pick y'all battles, bro.
Man, that's not a battle I'm picking. I'm not picking that one. Listen,
they gotta be very. I mean, we talking.
Y'all gonna have to send the National Guard after some man.
Older now, you know what I'm saying? It's like I might as well just go back to being ignorant in the streets.
Might as well because like if you really want me to have that approach to that word, that means everybody that I've had a situation with that's used it in the last 20 years, like I got to turn around now and say I no longer forgive you I have to pay you back for what you said.
Man, because I'm passionate about the word and its usage.
We hustle sun up until sundown just to keep businesses in our part of town. That's black gold, black gold, black gold, black gold. It's community wealth when we support ourselves. Recycle the money before you spend somewhere else. That's black gold, black gold.